Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this ACW Newscast number 41. I am Hakeem Johnson, your ACW commentator as always, and thank you for joining us for this newscast. Apologies once again for not having a newscast last week. Just something came up and couldn't really be able to do it on time today. But we're going to talk about the aftermath of Ground Zero. We're also going to talk about your questions and comments you sent to me. And plus, we're going to have a little tidbit about the state of gaming. And yes, it's looking like I'm going to make it a series, but we'll see how far we can take the series. But it's going to be a very short episode of the newscast, hopefully, because I gave you kind of a lot, 40 minutes last time with my newscast, so it's going to be shorter. But anyways, let's talk about Ground Zero. Ground Zero, so far right now on Blip TV, it's had over 130 views. 130 views Ground Zero has acquired since last Friday night. And I appreciate all the views. I appreciate everybody that watched the show. I appreciated everybody that got the show trending. I appreciated everybody that was enthralled with the show and gave us good and bad feedback. That's one thing about ACW. We welcome all opinions. We welcome all constructive criticism. Because in the world of GAWA, you can't get better unless the people demand you do better. And I think that's a lesson that a lot of people in GAWA and a lot of people that run GAWA leagues can take from. There's a room for constructive criticism. It doesn't have to always be blind praise. So that way you can work on certain fields and get better at it, and your whole league will do better for it, and the viewers will be happy. But yes, I do thank you guys for making Ground Zero a very big success, for giving it as many views as you guys did, with the likes it did on Facebook. I appreciate that. Ground Zero was pretty fun to do. Granted, now I recorded Ground Zero in 2012. So I've been holding that mega event for almost 2 years on my laptop, and obviously you can tell it was in 2012 because I did it on WWE12. The only time I'm doing that on ACW, because the whole plan was that we were going to transition to WWE12 and we were going to do ACW from there. But that's when the hiatus began, and by the time WWE13 came out, which I thought was way better than WWE12, it kind of made WWE12, the transition for us, pretty much dated, so we just went to WWE13 instead. And I think it's better for it. I think you guys watched the Excel after Ground Zero this Monday. By the way, if you have not watched the new episode of Excel, it is on our channel, Anime CW, at our YouTube channel. You can also watch it on our homepage, our website, animecwrestling.webs.com. But I think the transition to WWE13 far better. I think I'm for the most part, I'm having no problems with it, like I kind of did doing the Ground Zero pre-show and the event itself. So, and I'm not really a fan of WWE14, 2K14. I didn't think it was as good as people are saying it is, or as even good as WWE13, so I didn't plan on trying to transition there either. So I stuck with WWE13, and I'm awaiting to see what WWE 2K15 has in store, to see if they really fix certain problems that we have been clamoring for years. Now, reportedly, they're saying that we're getting new commentary, almost over 30 plus hours of commentary, which will freshen the whole mood. It won't be feeling like it's repeating itself, which is very, very good. Also saw the graphics. They damn well look real. Like they look realer than they did in WWE14. It's like night and day with the comparison. I would like to see. Well, my expectations would be like what I would like to see would be, on the call front, maybe more options with clothing. Have whether it's a male or female model, just have the clothes for all. Don't separate them. Because especially for us that do anime leagues and we do video game leagues, we kind of would need those things to fully justify and represent the characters we want created. What else would I want? What I want for WWE 15, although it's a pipe dream at this point, I would like the 8-player mode to come back again like you did for SmackDown Just Bring It, I believe. When it was 8 players, that way you can have 8 players in a Rumble, which would be freaking awesome. Also, I would like a very, very good story mode. I mean, people will go back into No Mercy, which is fine. That's the story mode I would like for it to happen. We don't really need a 30 years of WrestleMania. We really don't even need an Attitude Era kind of mode anymore. We just need a consistent storyline where it can take you to multiple places, so the wins and losses do matter. So if you win a match, you go this route, and if you lose a match, you go the other route. If you say yes to this, it's a consequence here. If you say no to this, it's a consequence over there. I think that's something that is rarely missing in WWE games these days, and I think that's something we can truly have. Also, fix the music level. The music level, especially when we make custom soundtracks. Fix the music level so where the music doesn't overshadow the crowd noise. The crowd noise can be balanced or equalized with the music, determining the music levels. So that's something you can also fix. What else? What else would I suggest too? What else would I suggest? That's about it for now. I'm sure when we get close to WWE 15, I will make more suggestions and give an overall review before actually seeing it. But whatever. So yeah. But back to Ground Zero though. We had a great showing. Hardcore retained his XL title against Hiei, Zabuzan, Donkey Kong in that Fatal 4-Way main event match. Also, we had Moroku and Sasuke be defeated by Kaneki and Kakashi, so the old school won the battle so far. Also, the Little Fighters retained against the Knights of the Zodiac. Zuko retained his Road to Destiny title against Akuma, and Solid Snake defeated Garurumon. So there you have those things. So yeah, it's it was a good event, and we plan to do a lot of more things. Our next upcoming mega event, obviously, will be Apocalypse, which is July 18th, 2014, only on Click Per View. Sorry, only on YouTube, on Blip TV and VO. Don't say Click Per Views anymore because pretty much every cost show is a Click Per View, so it doesn't make sense. But yeah, it'll be on Blip TV and VO. Apocalypse, and I'm also debating if I really want to do Animania 3 on YouTube and Blip, or just Blip only. I'm debating that. Let me know what you guys think on the comment section of this video if you think I should put Animania 3 on YouTube. Because here's the thing why I don't do mega events on YouTube. I kind of get really creative with the mega events, as you guys can tell. And that includes using certain copyrights, and that includes doing certain things that YouTube could probably block in other countries, or mute here, or just delete the video altogether. That's why I don't necessarily upload mega events on YouTube, and I just put it on Blip TV. But with Animania 3, I'm trying to make this the biggest Animania we've done so far, and maybe just doing it on YouTube also on Blip TV would kind of do it. I don't know. I'll think about it. I won't guarantee a yes or no, but I'll think about it so far. If you guys think I should or shouldn't, let me know on the bottom and tell me why. But yeah, so a great event with Ground Zero, and hopefully we got a lot of things coming up. We should got a lot of things going on, as the XL brand will be on the road to High Voltage, which will be next month in August, and the Impulse brand is going to be doing a lot of big things as it's on the road to Apocalypse. But before we even get to Apocalypse, next week it's the big rematch of rematches. It's going to be Gohan Ryu 3 for the Impulse Championship inside a steel cage. That's the main event for Impulse next week. Hopefully, you guys are there. Show up. Also, the triple threat match to determine Mugen's opponent at Apocalypse for his television title will be Sagat, Edward Elric, and Gara. So it's going to be a big event for Impulse next Thursday night. Hopefully, you guys can be there. It should be total non-stop action with ACW, not that other company. But with that said, we're going to look at your questions and comments. Now, I always say we do questions and comments, and I haven't really been doing a good job, reading questions and comments in a while. Now, granted, that could be just because we haven't done newscasts in a long while, but still, it's always, I always feel bad for not, getting ready and doing, questions and comments for you guys. And it always piles up and piles up and piles up. So, we're going to look at, ACW Newscast questions and comments you may have had. Hightar XJ from Facebook says, Anime Divas Division, thoughts? Well, I've spoke about this in, long detail in a while, that, we're planning on doing a Divas Division for ACW very soon. We just have to get the whole planning and details kind of figured out and ironed out, but otherwise, we are definitely going to do a women's division. Obviously, you guys know it's called the Glamour X division. We're trying to bring that into ACW. It's going to take time. It'll be on the XO brand. It's going to be its own. It's going to be its own exclusive brand, kind of like how the Cruiserweight division is for Impulse. So, you know, we're trying to do new things here for ACW this year in 2014 and 2015 and forward. So we'll give you more information on that. But yes, if that's your question, yes, you're gonna get a Glamour X division, an Anime Divas division in ACW fairly soon. What are your thoughts about Call of Duty? I'm sorry, Gary Connell Jr. from Facebook also asked, what are your thoughts about Call of Duty Ghosts being a part of X Games? Now, admittedly, so I really don't watch the X Games. I think it's cool the things they do in there, but I'm not necessarily a guy that watches it. I'm not a casual or avid viewer of it. But my opinions on the whole Call of Duty series, honestly, I've played Call of Duty before. You know, it is what it is. It's okay. It's a shooting game, first-person shooter, whatever. But, and I don't want to sound like a nostalgia kind of guy, but I'm getting tired of people using the likes of Call of Duty and Halo and stuff like that, certain games like that, BioShock or whatever the hell it is. Tired of people using those things as the reason why gaming is on the uprise. Because if I've explained many times, it's not going to be the fact that companies making the same decisions causing you guys to make less and less money in the long term ahead. That's not what's going to really kill a gaming business. It's going to be the fact that you got these special interest groups, whether those in the LBG community, African American community, white community, Latino community, women community, whatever, what have you. You've got all these special interest groups coming into this gaming front, and they don't know a damn thing about gaming. They've never probably even played gaming in their lives, and the ones that do are just doing it just to sell out and get a buck out of it. Now they're coming into our circle and trying to change the way gaming is. Because as I've said before, gaming used to be a place to have fun. Gaming used to be a place where it was just about gaming and just playing video games and having fun and not worrying about the real life aspects that the gaming may or may not have. Not in 2014 anymore. With the rise of Tumblr and the rise of armchair activists and all that, now they're coming in here saying, well, why isn't a black female represented? Which I'll get to in a minute. Why isn't a gay man represented here? Why isn't a transsexual represented here? Or a Latino, or what have you? Now it's not even about gaming anymore. It's about people getting what they feel they want. And I talked about the Assassin's Creed controversy with Unity. And I love Assassin's Creed, I love the series. But talked about the whole controversy there, saying that they said it would take too much time to create a female character, which I thought was bullshit. That was not the real reason why they're not creating a female, because they probably felt like females wouldn't attract much revenue as the current male protagonists do, and that's just a fact with them. And I understood the outrage from some that say, well, that's pretty much, judging, and that's pretty much being in a way sexist. And I can see it and kind of agree to a certain extent. But then you got all these people fake outraging. You got all these people internet raging, saying, oh, we gotta take a stand and get an all-female video game, and then an all-female cast in Assassin's Creed. Yet missing the entire point that there are other female video game characters that are independent and sometimes are the lead of their own series. It's not always about females being a co-host or a damsel in distress. There are others like the Samus Arans, the Jill Lockharts, Lightning and all those female leads. They're independent too. Bayonetta, all those women, but we ignore them. We ignore what they do, just to feed your own ego and just to make your own point. It's sad, really. But what my feelings of Call of Duty Ghosts being involved in X Games, money grab, pure and simple, easy as that, money grab. Call of Duty is no longer about making a very compelling game. It's all about, oh my god, the graphics are great, and the fact that it's just about making money. That's all it is. Sorry, that's what it is to me. And a lot of Xbox fanboys are going to hate me for saying that. But in my opinion, Call of Duty in the series now has gone to a point where it's just being a cash cow. And that's fine. I don't begrudge anybody for making money, but how long are you going to be able to suckle the tit out of the Call of Duty cash cow before it starts to dry up? I'm just saying. Because now you're doing it with Halo. You're doing it with Halo from this E3 performance. Remember? Now it's the Master Chief Collection. All doing that just to get money. Again, not a bad thing, but it is what it is. That's the reality of it. So, thank you for that question, Gary. Joshua Howell from Facebook also said, have you taken a look at GWA? Please do if you haven't. To be real with you, I don't know what GWA is. I haven't heard of it, but if it's something that you recommend, of course I'll check it out. I don't know if it's a real wrestling promotion, or if it's an eFed, or if it's a call league, or what have you, but if you are recommending something to me, of course I'll check it out. I'm always fresh to looking at things new and things that I haven't seen or experienced before, so, you know, there's always a best bet. I'll check it out. So, more than likely I'll check it out. Hopefully it's a, I would think it's a colleague you're trying to recommend, and I'm all inclined of helping the call, business, quote unquote, when it's really not, because they're not making money off COD. But I'm all helping the call community because the call community has done so much for me. No DQ call. If there was no such thing as a no DQ call, there would probably be no ACW, and I'm just being honest there. There would probably be no ACW, period. And I always have been someone that's tried to do something different. I always wanted to be different from everybody in CAW. I could have easily, brought up the Inuyashas and the Goku in a big wrestling role, but I wanted to bring up the unknowns, some of the animes people don't know in the mainstream, the likes of the Haru Glories, and unknown video game and RPG and PC games like the Little Fighters with Davis, Woody, and Dennis. Wanted to bring those people up so people can kind of be like, oh, so that's what it is, huh? Wow. So, thank you, Joshua, for that question. I will look at the recommendation there. Raiden682 from YouTube comments, I was so heartbroken when the Shield broke up like that, because that is my favorite stable for the last year. Not to mention they're so damn talented, especially Rollins and Reigns, and Ambrose is a master on the mic. But I'm interested on how Seth Rollins will fit in with Evolution. Finally, I hope there's a new member plan for the Shield soon. Well, first things first, to answer the second question, there is going to be no new member of the Shield, because by and large, the Shield's pretty much done. You look at Rollins, he's turned heel. Reigns is going for the World Heavyweight title, the WWE World Heavyweight title. Ambrose is right now feuding with feuding with Rollins, and Ambrose and Reigns have pretty much kind of gone their separate ways. So the Shield's pretty much done. It's pretty much over. I'm inclined to be in the middle, but I think I'm more leaning to that the Shield shouldn't have broken up just yet. Yeah, you could have made the argument that the Shield needed to break up now and eventually, because they've pretty much done everything, but not really. You just turn them face this early year. You just turn them face, legit face around April. Like, you cemented them on the day after WrestleMania 30, the Raw after WrestleMania 30 as faces. You could have really made more merchandise sales. You could have made more white hot moments. You could have built up that group so when they did split up, it would have been more surprising and it would have been more shocking than it ultimately was. Because let's not get it twisted. Let's not confuse it. The Shield broke up and Rollins turned heel just because of staggering ratings on Raw, to the point where the Raw before that heel turn, I believe, got a 2.9. And that was a knee-jerk reaction, and to do a heel turn just for the sake of doing a heel turn. If we're going to criticize TNA for doing that crap, and they do it a lot, we have to be objective and consistent and do the same thing with the WWE. And that's exactly what happened, because Seth Rollins' explanation as to turning on the Shield, it's crap. It makes no sense. It's not enough time right now in Seth Rollins' character to think that he can just turn on his brothers, especially when the Shield have beaten Evolution in 2 consecutive pay-per-views, and also the Shield won their WrestleMania match, even though every member of Evolution at WrestleMania 30 lost to Daniel Bryan. So then you just split off that faction, you split off the Shield for Rollins to turn with the fledgling losing faction in Evolution. That makes no sense whatsoever. And I don't care what any WWE fan or any propagandist for the WWE or people in the wrestling business want to say about it. It was a dumb maneuver. Now, the only way you're going to try to capitalize it is if Rollins this Sunday wins the Money in the Bank briefcase and cashes it in on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion immediately. Because we all know who's going to win that WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be Cena. I think it's too early for Reigns to win it, honestly. I think you can build up to WrestleMania 31. But look at everybody else. How does everybody else stand a chance against, Cena? Orton? He's already been there, done that. And he wasn't necessarily a ratings bonanza. Sheamus? He's already the U.S. champion. Funny thing is, he would be the next likely person to win that title too, anyways. Cesaro, they're pretty much spoiling Cesaro's momentum. Here's a guy that won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Got a lot of momentum the night after WrestleMania 30 on Raw. So, you pair him up with Paul Heyman, and you haven't done jack squat with him ever since, only to be Sheamus' fodder opponent, and feud with RVD with no payoff. And you kept Cesaro heel, even though the crowd still want to cheer for him. Good job. And I never thought me saying that pairing with Paul Heyman would be a bad thing. But then again, I look at Ryback and Curtis Axel. And now where are they? A pre-show match on a pay-per-view if you're lucky. They've truly ruined Cesaro's momentum. ADR, no one cares about ADR. Here's a guy that's won the first ever 40-man Royal Rumble match. Here's a guy that won a Money in the Bank and multiple-time world champion, and no one cares. Nobody gives a damn about Alberto Del Rio. The one thing you had with Alberto Del Rio that made him at least interesting was Ricardo, and you took him away. For what? Just because you can. So ADR's not going to win it. Bray Wyatt? Ha! Bray Wyatt's still suffering from this John Cena feud that has clearly derailed his momentum. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Even though Daniel Bryan is the most over wrestler right now in the WWE, Bray Wyatt was a guy that could battle that spot. All he needed to do was to beat John Cena at WrestleMania 30. And yeah, okay, Cena could have won the feud at the end of it all, but you've got to make Frankenstein beat up some villagers before you take the earplugs off of him, right? But no, John Cena won at WrestleMania 30 for no reason whatsoever, even though the story leading to the match and the story during the match called for John Cena to lose that match, either get disqualified by the chair and nail Bray Wyatt with it, or use the chair to nail Rowan or Harper or whoever so Bray Wyatt can sneak in that fast win. But no, John Cena just had to do it. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Hey, bam, 1, 2, 3. Give me a damn break. And then the next month at Extreme Rules in the Steel Cage match, you got Bray Wyatt and John Cena. Even though Bray Wyatt, Rowan, and Harper was having a 3-on-1 with John Cena was still able to beat them. He was kicking their ass in the Steel Cage match and almost won that match had it not been for a kid in a cloak singing in a demonic way, he's got the whole world in his hands. And that was how Bray Wyatt won against John Cena. I would have rather have John Cena win, but Bray Wyatt lose in defeat in a convincing manner than Bray Wyatt winning in the most bitch-made fashion I have ever seen from anybody. And then, of course, at Payback, John Cena won. I don't even care if the match was good. The match was good, but that doesn't matter at the end of the day. John Cena still went over. So Bray Wyatt has been affected tremendously by this John Cena feud, and not for the better. So there's no way in hell he's going to win the title. And if he wins the title, who cares? Because John Cena's going to chase after that title, and John Cena is either going to win that title anyways immediately because that's been established in the past already this recently, or Bray Wyatt's going to keep that title through the most bitch-made excuses that they can give Bray Wyatt just so they can make John Cena strong. Because heaven forbid, John Cena can never lose 100% clean with no BS, with no excuses, with no injuries. And I'm sick and tired of people that watch wrestling have to always defend John Cena. Every time somebody brings up a criticism about John Cena and his character and the way he does things in the ring, people have to always defend John Cena because they want to be cool. Because everyone is so against John Cena, let me defend John Cena just so I can stand out, just so I can be cool, just so I can look different from anybody else. Who are you fooling with your white knighting? Who are you fooling with your straw man's argument? We can see right through you. You're just defending John Cena just because you feel that you're being different. Just because, in any case, WWE might recognize you and give you some free stuff. But whatever. People are just going to defend John Cena, and people are just going to accept the crap that they're dealing with. And people that want change in the WWE. People want change in the WWE. How the hell do you want change when you still just eat the crap that he gives you? Ridiculous. So, I got off on a tangent there. My apologies there. But that I've been waiting to say that, I guess, for a while with this newscast. But yeah, so Ambrose is talented, but he's clearly the third wheel in the staple because Rollins is heel. He's with Triple H. They're gonna give him a push, at least enough of a push before Roman Reigns eventually squashes him, so he can go to Triple H. And obviously Reigns is the real one that's getting pushed here. He's going to be a future top guy, probably the top guy in the future, and a future World Heavyweight Champion. That's future WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's pretty obvious. So Ambrose is stuck. I mean, he's talented. Don't get me wrong. His wrestling style reminds me of a little bit of Roddy Piper and Brian Pillman, just kind of fused together. And his microphone skills are very eerie of a Jake the Snake Roberts. Although that might be more Bray Wyatt, I would say Ambrose is more Brian Pillman on that respect as well, with a little bit of Raven sprinkled in. But Ambrose can really make it. I would be hard pressed for Ambrose to not make it. Yeah, he'll be the odd man out, obviously, but he's so talented that I don't think they can really hold him back down. At least I hope not. John Black asks, I just started watching ACW since it's back. And I wonder why are you going to use WWE13? I mean, why are you going to use WWE12 and not WWE13 or 2K14? That's pretty much all I wanted to ask. Just saying I like your colleague, and yeah. I pretty much just answered that, in the minutes before the newscast, but pretty much, I only used WWE12 for the Ground Zero pre-show and Ground Zero Mega Event itself because we were going to try to transition to WWE12 in 2012. But the hiatus happened, and then by the time we came back, WWE13 pretty much came out, and pretty much we transitioned into that. And it's like I find like WWE13 is way better than WWE 2K14. So, what's the point of trying to transition to WWE 2K14? Hopefully with WWE 2K15, though, I think they can address certain problems, certain issues that it can have that a lot of WWE fans have wanted for a while. So, let's see. And this is gonna be our last question, and I guess I'll have to push back the state of gaming, but I'll kind of give it a little bit of a brief talk about it before I sign off because we're almost 30 minutes now. Brian Bonus asked a few questions from YouTube. Did you hear about anything at E3 concerning the new game Shantae 1 to Genie Hero and Shantae and his Pirate's Curse? I have Shantae's Risky Revenge on my 3DS, and I have the first Shantae game on my 3DS when it was for the Game Boy Color, and I'm planning on getting the new upcoming Shantae games. I've never played the Shantae games. I don't play them. I don't think I heard about it. I don't think I heard about anything concerning that, unless they announced it at the Treehouse. I mean, I watched some of the things that happened on the Treehouse that week, but not all of it, so they could have announced it there, but other than that, I didn't hear about it and I don't play it, so sorry about the vagueness there. And what are your overall thoughts about OCBS, Extreme Justice? I have not gotten to Extreme Justice yet. I've only been on 2 parts yet. Been pretty busy these past couple of days, so I haven't really caught on a lot of things I wanted to catch up on. But I'll end up finishing on OCBF. So far, it's a good show, though. OCBF, another colleague that's doing things different that people want to maybe bash on at times because it's being different, yet you're making cause of 10 people with tattoos all over their body. Just whatever. And then number 3, what are your overall thoughts on my choice of possible new women talent I posted on Facebook a few weeks ago? I think I answered that too on a previous newscast, I like some of the choices. I think some of them you named were Mai Valentine from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Revy from Black Lagoon, and Revy's the one that's been named a lot when it comes with this question. Um, who else did you probably name? Alexis Silver, I think, from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Was that her name too? Um, Taya Gardner from Yu-Gi-Oh! Freaking Cammy. Um, the likes of Samus Aran. So a lot of a lot of women like that you've mentioned. Reiko Hinamoto from Rumble Rose's fame. So you know, I don't watch a lot of anime like I used to, but I still watch anime. Like I just caught up on Attack on Titan, caught up on Sword Art Online. Looking forward to Sword Art Online 2 next month. Um, Rewatched the whole Prince of Tennis series, which includes all the OVAs of the Nationals and the new Prince of Tennis series, which I was kind of disappointed in because it was only like 13 episodes, so that was disappointing. And all the movies that it had. Caught up on the Get Backers and watched the whole series. So, planning to watch Hunter x Hunter in the near future as well. So, just give me time, like stuff like Kill la Kill. Give me time. I'll get through some of them. But that's all I can say about that. So thank you for those questions and comments from you guys today. Remember, always send questions and comments to this video on the bottom of the comments section if you can down below, or on the Facebook status if you're liking us or following us on Facebook. You can post your comment and question you may have for me, and I will try to answer them hopefully next week. If we have a newscast next week, hopefully I can do one next week. Alright? Alright. And we're just going to be brief about this because it's like 31 minutes. I thought this was going to be a short show, but I just kind of went on a lot of tangents today. But the state of gaming. So here's the deal. I was looking on Facebook earlier this morning, and I was, looking through the feed and seeing what things, were being talked about. And I looked at this thing here that made me laugh. Disappointed, and angry at the same time. It was on my Facebook feed, and it was from change.org. Yeah, that change.org. And apparently this person from Detroit, Anton Watabe, gee, that doesn't say weeaboo, does it? But apparently there's a petition for Link to become playable as a young black female in the upcoming Zelda Wii U game. And let me just read you what this person's reasons were for this. For too many years have the black community been underrepresented in the video game industry. Nintendo went too far this time when they chose to make the new Link white and white only. We need to end this injustice. Equality has sadly still not been truly achieved. And if you laugh like I'm laughing right now, I don't blame you at all. Now everyone knows I am a very handsome, big, buff, African American man and all. But the fact of the matter is that this is what's happening with gaming right now. This is the problem that gaming has right now. You've got all these special interest groups, whether it's from the African American community, the LBGT community, the likes from the women groups, feminist groups, if I want to be more specific, groups from the Latino community, the white community, what have you, whatever community has a reason to bitch about something. Now it's kind of taken over with this trope of gaming. You got the likes of, well, it used to be Jack Thompson when he would say like video games cause mass murders and shootings and what have you, and video games are evil and all that crap. And now those video game journalists that blast Jack Thompson for that BS are now the ones spouting out this BS to video gamers. You see how the whole full circle is going on with gaming right now? Now you can't have an opinion without it being called offensive, immoral, mean-spirited, whatever. So, first of all, Link is not a female, so I don't know how the hell young black female came into this unless you thought Link was the main character as a female or whatever. And that still doesn't make any sense. But this is what I'm talking about, though. Now you got the likes of IGN with their whole, ass-kissing to these special interest groups so that they can keep their money and their jobs. You got these you know, social media white knighters like Anita Sarkeesian. I don't even know how to freak to say her last name. Sarkeesian. There we go. Anita Sarkeesian. You know, coming up here and trying to put female in a victim mode. And that's the funny thing about it. She always talks about how females are being treated sexually and how they're just used for sexual references, and how why does it have to be always a male protagonist, that females are always seen as damsel in distresses, even though her argument always puts these female characters in victim mode. And if you were a female, you'd be easily offended at that notion more than she's speaking about those supposed notions as well. And she ignores the fact that there's also female video game characters that are independent, that do stand on their own, that sometimes they don't need a love interest, they don't need to rescue anybody, they just do what they do because they're badass. And gamers like that too. It's not always, the world of gaming does not have to be this female who happens to be female just to be female. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be completely honest here, folks. There's going to be, for the most part, women in games have a certain sex appeal. That's a fact. Don't try to change the standard. That's just a fact. That certain women are going to have certain sex appeal. Look at Samus Aran and her whole controversy as of late. I get the complaints about the other M series and all that stuff. I get it. But what I don't understand is, here's Samus Aran. Yes, she has a certain sex appeal about herself, especially in the new Nintendo games coming out with her image. We know that. But that doesn't deter, or that does not take away from her skills, from her talents, and from her individual characterisms. Her sex appeal is a part of her, yeah, but it doesn't take away from everything else that she does represent. But I find it rather sexist, really, from some of these feminists, and I'm not saying women in general. There's a difference, folks, between women and feminists. Get that through your head. But with these feminists, I find it kind of sexist for a feminist to single out a female just on the sex appeal, to kind of criticize a female character in a video game for their sex appeal and ignoring everything else that makes her unique and makes her interesting. That would be more sexist to me than the sex appeal itself. And don't act like males have the same thing too in video games. Because we can go through video game sections right now with women that don't even play video games talking about, oh, you know, that guy from Uncharted, or this guy from The Last of Us, or, you know, Link, you know, all that crap. So, calm down. But yeah, I just find that ridiculous, and I encourage nobody to not sign that petition. Please don't sign that petition. It's ridiculous. It's just another fake outrage for people to get their, you know, heads stuck in their asses again. This won't go anywhere. Don't support this kind of crap, because it legitimizes this kind of crap, and it makes other people think, oh, well, I can do this too. You'll open a Pandora's box. Well, it's already open anyways, but you're going to even make it a bigger issue if you just sign this petition, or if you share it, or if you support certain crap like this that does nothing. Nothing! So yeah, I'm gonna try to make this the state of gaming a series, I guess, here in the newscast. We'll see how far it goes. We'll see how much complaints we have about it, and there's gonna be a lot more coming. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, that'll be it for the ACW Newscast 41. I was trying to make this 15 to 20 minutes. Apparently, my big mouth didn't want me to do it. My big mouth wanted me to do another 40-minute newscast. So there you go. Are you guys happy now? I guess with no newscast from last week, you guys get another 40 minutes of me talking about certain things. So there. I don't really mind. But next Monday night, new episode of Excel. Next Thursday night will be a new episode of Impulse. The reason why we didn't have a new episode of Impulse this week was because of scheduling differences. We have to keep within the schedule so Excel and Impulse have equal amounts of time. So I had to kind of reschedule certain things. But new episode of Impulse, Ryu Gohan 3 in the steel cage for the Impulse title will be next Thursday night. And we are just about 2 weeks away until Apocalypse on July 18th. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you hopefully next week for another episode of the newscast. This is Hakeem Johnson telling you to always stay cool. Stay cool. See you guys.